Greetings, gamer guys and gals. Welcome to part 43 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 5 Thracia 776. And in today's episode, we're going to be continuing about with Xavier's lieutenants and this tricky task of putting them all to sleep, and also not only putting them to sleep, but making sure that they're in such a way that we can get all the civilians over here to talk to them and then recruit Xavier. It's gonna be a long process, a long day, to say the absolute least. Alright, so Leaf, you can go, well, actually, you know what? Yes, this is a Freed unit. Cool. Selfina can take him out. That's one less guy that will be in our way. Leaf can go here, equip the Kingmaker. We can put Marita here, Misha here. Asbel needs to go over here and start taking out these Leonster units. It's unfortunate we have to, but it's the only way we're going to get to... Oh, very nice. A movement star. It's the only way we're going to get to block that stairway. So one of our main goals of these beginning turns of this playthrough on this map specifically is that we want to block all three of the stairways that we can reach. Reason being is because the more that they are blocked, the less we have to worry about units coming in and messing with us, especially the Jormungandr bishops that come out of the bottom stairway that Asbel is running to right now. It is imperative, absolutely imperative, that we block that off as soon as possible. Shouldn't be a difficult task or a hard thing to do. He can definitely mess up many a strategy by rewarping to where you don't want those units to rewarp. Equip you. And I think Parn is our last unit we have to move. And that's it. That's our turn. So now we have to just hope and pray that things go well this turn. Alright, teleporting. And you go there. Interesting. Alright. Parn taking out the rubble. Or the rabble. The trash. He misses Linwin, and she doesn't KO. That's very good. Very important. Now, she wouldn't have doubled pretty much regardless. But you don't want her to KO, because if she knocks out that soldier and one of these guys gets a movement star, it is potentially possible that they could just outright kill her. Now that one can't reach. Neither could that one, but still. 2 movement stars. I think they all have 2 vigor stars themselves, so we got 2 procs of that. That's not very likely, to say the least. Alright, Sarah, getting some experience points. She might as well while we have her here. She is here partly to do healing, staving, just in case we need it. This whole right party is of no use pretty much the moment that we block off that bottom stairway and get those chests. All right. Pretty great, I would dare say. Linwin can go here and attack and finish you off. And then Selfina is going to finish off the Loptrian Bishop with her beautiful, amazing Brave Bow. So glad she can use that straight off the bat. Straight off the bat. There we go. English. It's not that hard. Alright, so Wind Sword. We're going to take out this other Freed unit here. Very nice, very nice. And then we're going to put Leaf right here with the Kingmaker for the time being. We can trade Misha the Sleep Edge. Yeah, I think that's fine for the time being. We're going to use... I would love to be able to use Merida for helping Dean with putting people to sleep, but the problem is that she is so strong that that's just not a viable answer. So Dean here, I should have attacked this Freed unit first with Dean, and then attacked with Misha after trading weapons. That's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. And we can move Fergus onto this stairway. We can heal up Dean with Salem. We are making some pretty good progress. So if you're going to do this strategy, you have to think kind of a little bit out of the box concerning how you put these units to sleep. So you have to put them to sleep in such a way that there is space in between them. So I'm going to be putting these first 2 units to sleep right here. Well, first 3, because Marlon's already asleep. And then I'm going to move a little bit away so that there's space in between the units from... So I'm going to be putting my units right here. And then I'm going to have to move a little bit away from that as well. The reason being is because if you don't have space in between them, the civilians can't move through them and properly talk to everyone. And you want them to properly talk to everyone. Alright, so I just got to make sure, yep, the Sleep Edge is on you. Perfect. We can move Parn right here to get ready to open that door soon. Not exactly right now, but soon. And he's attacking Merida, which is his doom, unfortunately. There's not too many characters in this game that Merida can't take out on her own at this current moment. Just with her skills and everything she has to offer alone. Alright, so we put a Freed to sleep. This is why I would have preferred to KO that Freed unit, because we're going to have to wait another turn before we can actually put a unit we need to put to sleep asleep. So, that's okay. It's not the biggest of deals, but it is better if we can get these things done in a more timely manner. And all the dancers are escaping. Hilarious. It makes you question exactly what was going on in that room, but we'll leave that for another day. Alright, so yeah, there is no more Freed units. Awesome. So what we can do is take out this Freed unit. That was a pretty decent level up. One thing we could actually do here is... there would be enough room. Alright. Linowin, please get up here and assist. Alright, putting you to sleep. Very nice. And then we just have to put someone in the way here, which will be Selfina for the time being. Marita, you can go here and deal with this freed unit, and then she's also going to deal with whoever comes out of that staircase, and then block it. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. One more turn, and we will be able to block that staircase with Ocean, and then start getting items. Alright, so we can go here and attack you. Very nice. Sarah's just getting some experience points while she sits and waits for any action that she might need to do later on. And then these units, well, we're pretty well done. We're just going to go ahead and end our turn. The units that reinforce on the staircase to the far right are of 0 consequence if you do not open up the door. And we will not be opening up the door. Just as a bit of a spoiler. And Frank is now asleep. Good night, Frank. Alright, Sarah, good job. Dodging that javelin. And she got a defense level up. That's pretty cool. 10% proc, I believe that was. Not very likely, to say the least. Alright, so we need to move a little bit out of the way. So we want there to be, like, open air. So these two spaces right here where Leaf and Selfina are on, we want those to be open. So what we need is we need these two spaces, the space where Misha and right above Linowin is, those to be occupied by the enemies. So what that means is we are going to move a little bit to the left over here. And yeah, we can put Selfina here, Misha here, and Dean here. So we're going to be able to put 2 more enemies right here to sleep, which is nice. That will be of great help. And then we're probably going to be moving a little bit backwards this way. It depends. Yeah, we only have 4 more units to put to sleep. So yes, we're going to do just that. We're going to be moving to the left. It does mean, however, that this party will be fully blocked from going anywhere until we have successfully converted all of these red units to green, because then we can pass through them. Don't make the mistake I did in my first playthrough and think that you could just put them all together and KO them. I put them all in a little square right here when I put them to sleep. Well, in my first playthrough that I was recruiting Xavier, I should say, because this was not my first playthrough. My first couple of playthroughs were quite blind, and I knew nothing about this. But, so when I turned the first 2 green, come to find out that there was no way to possibly turn any of the other ones green, and I was quite disappointed, to say the least. Asbel gets us a silver sword. Very nice. The silver swords in this game are pretty darn good. Yeah, we're almost at C rank with Ocean. That's nice. Yeah, so they're pretty darn good, but the problem is that they have poor durability. I find that most of the weapons in this game have poor durability, except for like the very bare minimum and the preferential weapons, which is kind of, in my humble opinion, an odd choice. I get it because you do get basically an infinite amount of stuff in this game, so it makes sense to a degree. It just is not really that great otherwise. Ooh, we can actually put Sarah right here, and only one of them can attack her. That's very nice. And we would have got reinforcements from the two bottom, well, the two on the left and the one on the bottom staircase, and I'm glad that we did not. Alright, Selfina proccing a cost, that's always very unfortunate to see, but she is the only unit I have right here that can block like this reliably, so I'm going to continue taking advantage of that factor. And Sarah just taking out more enemies. Alright, so we're going to move Selfina, and then we're going to attack with Misha. Let's see, 4% critical, that's not great. Put you to sleep. Very nice. We can open up another chest. We got a door key. Useful, but not really that useful. I won't complain about it, though. Extra stuff and all. Wow, she got 1 strength. Oh, it's because she has the Njorn scroll on her. Wait a minute, wait a minute. What is that giving her in growths? Okay, so it's not giving her skill. I was going to say, if it was giving her skill, I was taking that thing off as soon as you possibly could. As soon as I possibly could, I should say. Alright, Sean is asleep. Alright, so we only have 2 more to put to sleep. We're going to be moving a little bit to the left over the next turn and doing just that. Alright, Shroff, time for some healing. And that should be it for our turn right now. I think everything's looking like it's going to plan for the most part. This is such a tricky chapter, especially with the fact that we have to deal with recruiting Xavier. I probably would be done with this chapter in the next like 2 or 3 turns, potentially, if we were not recruiting Xavier, just because there's ways to beat it pretty quickly without necessarily needing to warp. I like warp strategies, so there's that. 5 and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What we're going to do is move you all back just a bit. And Edward has 5 AS. Alright, so that is our turn. Hopefully things work out. Yeah, we would have got reinforcements from all 3 of those locations. Very nice seeing that we do not have to deal with that. Nicholas is now asleep. And he could have been doubled, but Dean did not double him. Alright. That was a little bit dangerous. I actually wanted Selfina to be in that spot. But I messed that up just a little bit. And that could have spelled some doom for this run. I could have had to reset in that moment. Nobody makes... I mean, unless you plan... You can definitely plan this game out. I have not planned this game out. Let's attack with the sleep edge here. And here we go. Edward is asleep. With that, we have absolutely every single enemy asleep. I wanted to do it in such a way... The only reason why I did not put Selfina here, or anybody here particularly, so that the space got clogged... I mean, they probably would have gone up here and attacked Selfina. Actually, that would have been just fine. Was because I wanted my units to be able to move into this space, into this area, to help with the rescuing of these units. Because the problem is that these green units, and don't think we need to heal anybody. No, we don't. We could with Shroff if we need to. These units, now, the reason why we didn't open up the doors, because we didn't want them moving and coming out here and just clogging the space. And one of the things you definitely want to do, instead of allowing them to clog the space, is using your units to pick them up and ferry them over to whom they need to talk to. And as you'll see, because we have the map data hidden off, these will just come and talk to their respective units. And yeah, we're pretty well done. This pretty much can't fail from this point forward. And the reason why that is because I have everybody in the correct spaces, in the correct positioning, as well as that we're going to have no more reinforcements. The reinforcements only come from the stairwells, which is great in my humble opinion. Being able to block reinforcements in Fire Emblem is not always a thing, but when it is, I feel like it's fantastic. A lot of people complain about Thracia's quote-unquote nonsensical... okay, we're going to just move up these units. Nonsensical ambush spawns. So all of the reinforcements in Thracia are ambush. What that means, particularly, is that the units will... Okay, we can equip... Let's equip the Master Sword for the time being. The units will spawn and then move, which is a bad thing. I fully agree. But the difference between this and any other game that does ambush spawns is that you can block the spawn points. I'm pretty well assured that no other game in the series that has ambush spawns can you block the spawn points. So it's difficulty, but it's difficulty that is acceptable in the way that you are capable of manipulating and controlling it to the best of your own ability. That's something I appreciate. Some folks don't necessarily, but it's kind of one of those situations where it seems like my bias is showing. I love Thracia. Everybody who knows me knows I love Thracia, but really, it's more or less that the game is just designed very well. For it being a Super Famicom, Super Nintendo game, well, you know, that was made in 1999 and made in a very limited time with a very limited budget, it has a lot of really cool quirks to it that I appreciate. I feel the same way about Genealogy, though Genealogy had way more development time allotted to it. I think almost double, which is wild to say because I feel like Genealogy is definitely the inferior game, but by no means am I saying it's bad. This unit can talk right there. That's what will happen. We just have to keep pressing wait, basically, for the time being. What we'll do is any one of the 4 civilians that needs to talk to the 4 units on the right, I'm just going to rescue. Papa, stop it.
Ah, you're all right. I'm so glad. Come along now. With you back, there's no reason to fight for the damned Empire.
Perfect. Now that he's a green unit, you can pass literally right through him. Originally, I thought because they turn into green units that you could just KO them because the affiliation, just like in in Defending Taura, that is not the case. All right, so these two need to be rescued. So do those two. So let's rescue you. Rescue you. You. And you. Alright, cool. Next turn, we'll get all three of those to be talked to. What we can do, then, is we can drop off all of these further down. And there we go. Yeah, so the Leonster Knights would, the Leonster Lieutenants, not Knights, would in fact disappear too. They would escape as well, but they can't because they're asleep. Hey, just what do you think you're doing? I have half a mind to run off without you.
Ah, it's not what you think. I was only helping the Empire because you'd been imprisoned. Hey, wait for me, wait! I'm sorry for everything you've been through. All this, just for my sake. Ah, Father, you're alive. My kin is safe. That's all I know about life, and all I need to know. Come on, let's get out of here. Mother? Ah, it's all right, Mother. You don't need to say anything. I'm taking you home.
Alright, so yeah, we just have a little bit more to do. We're gonna have to rescue you, because you'll be in the way.
It's you! You're safe? Look, there's no reason for us to stick around here now. Let's go home.
Alright. And another turn. And we'll be finishing this chapter up pretty darn quick from now. Father! Oh, Father, I'm so sorry!
How did you get here? Actually, you know what? I couldn't care less what a miracle brought you back to me. Let's just get out of here. Never look a gift horse in the mouth, son.
Stop it! Lower your weapon! I'm here! You don't have to fight anymore!
Oh, really? I was just starting to enjoy it, too. I mean, if you're safe, that's all that matters. Let's see ourselves out.
That's some funny conversation there. And then we've got one more, and that's it. Misha can come join. Actually, I think this... No, I don't think this is any closer, so it doesn't really matter. Dean, Linowin, you can stay here and enjoy the show. I am going to be going and recruiting Xavier. And yep, that's pretty much it. We have everybody we need for the boss kill. Marita and Leaf could do it on their own. Misha could help too. The boss has a Master Lance though. Oh, you know what? We do need to steal some of his stuff. So, let's trade. You can keep that Vulnerary and the Lockpick for the time being, because we have several things to steal. Mend, Thoron, Vulnerary, and Adept. Let's see. Thoron, yes, we'll be able to steal that. That's nice. Very nice. We'll also need Rescuers. 10 Con. Well, Marita can do it, but that's not exactly great. We're gonna need Dean over here. Yep, we certainly are. So we're not done with you, Dean. Not quite yet. If you allow the reinforcements to continue in this chapter, you will be pretty well doomed. In this plan, I should say. Papa! Hey, Papa!
You're all right? Take my hand, sweetie. Papa's taking you home.
Alright, cool. And that's all of the Leonster lieutenants of Xavier's turned green coat. Too bad they didn't turn blue coat, then we could move them out of the way. Luckily for us, because they're green and that affiliation doesn't matter per se in our own concerning our own units' movements as well as attacking, so on and so forth. You can't even attack them if you wanted. It's just not a possibility. We don't really have to worry about them turning blue. We don't have to move them or anything like that. They're not recruitable units. We don't need this many armor knights. That's for certain. Xavier kind of would throw them all away anyhow. I mean, they would all have Adept and Miracle, which would be pretty cool. It'd be cool if you could at least recruit one for Adept and Miracle alone. You don't get very many Miracle units in this game, and you especially don't get very many Miracle units who can fight indoors. So there's that. But with all that being said, I think we're going to leave off the rest of this chapter for next time. Thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe depending on your platform. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.